Hello, Spinner's Nico here, coming at you with another custom figure review. Yep, we are taking a small break from the Watch My Build Ultimate X-Men. We are on something like part 13, 14, which seems ridiculous. This has been a challenge. But I thought, in the meantime, while off camera, I've literally just finished this guy. In fact, I've still got pain on my finger from finishing him this morning. I want to show you guys what he looks like, because honestly, I'm very happy with how he's turned out. So here we have the Ultimate Marvel Sabertooth, and it's been quite a simple custom, but did involve quite a lot of work at the same time. So we're going to have a quick close-up look at this guy and basically just go over what he is made up of and where the inspiration came from. So I saw someone on Facebook basically did a head swap, and I can't remember if they did a hand or an arm swap with basically the Nuke figure, which you can get, which I don't have on town, which basically uses the Hyperion body mold. And I saw that and I thought, that's actually a pretty cool idea, because they did release a Toy Biz one back in the day, but it had a stupid gimmick and it had wide cut hips, and it wasn't a great figure. But it did have aspects of it which were good, and that's basically what I have incorporated. So what we have is basically Toy Biz Sabertooth, or Toy Biz Ultimate Sabertooth, head, shoulders down, boots, coat and necklace, and then from the from the shins to the neck and the shoulders, the Nuke figure. The belt is also Nuke with some sculpt work. Now this is almost identical to how he looks in the comics, in my opinion, apart from the belt's slightly different, and he doesn't have pouches on his legs. He does just have straps around his legs. He doesn't have knee pads either. So the comic version basically just has two black straps going around his upper thighs, and then that's it, the rest of it's just trousers. But I thought he kind of wears kind of army gear, and it'd be a lot of work for me to kind of get rid of them. So I thought, rather than get rid of them, just incorporate them into the figure. I quite like them. I think they look pretty good, and I don't think they hurt the overall look on the figure. There's even one picture I've seen where he's got a big old knife sticking out here. So I was half tempted to get the knife from Nuke and put it on there. But as you can see, I haven't done that as of yet. So thankfully his coat is a very soft rubbery material, and it does come off. Annoyingly, because of the gimmick, it has a hole in the back and I can't really fix that. But there you have a closer look of the figure. So what I have sculpted basically is I cut off this part here, and the pegs that go into these boots are actually from the Toy Biz Sabertooth, because the Nuke pegs were just not quite right, and basically the boots were slipped off every time I tried to rotate them. But they still hold full articulation. So we've had to basically put them on there, sculpt putty over them. I've sculpted just some roughness onto the hips and the crutch, because Hasbro left them blank, because Hasbro. And then we found full sculpt of the vest. So that's completely sculpted by hand by me. It's very simple, very sloppy to put on there, and a few creases put in there deliberately, and then giving it a paint job. And oh yeah, and the final sculpt is the sculpt on the skull, which honestly I'm not really happy about, because I think it's not the tidiest. But it does the trick. I really am not good with fine detail yet. Now I've given it a nice dry brush coat, so he's had black trousers with a dry brush of dark green, grey boots with a dry brush of black, and then brown flesh with a dry brush of just flesh tone on top. And then the shirt I think was black with white dry brush over top. It just breaks up the thing so it's not solid colours, and I really like it. I like how it looks. I wish it was a little bit less grainy in some places, but the overall look I really like. The necklace can be removed as well, so if you just literally want to bare knuckles, you can do. Now the Toy Biz Sabertooth came with interchangeable hands. It comes with these hands, which are articulate, so they've hinged, and they've got hinged fingers as well, which is very cool. But then he also comes with two fists which have claws on them. Now these are metal claws which I've added myself. The claws that he did have were like this, very thick, very bulksome, and they were kind of just clumped together, so I didn't really like it. seriously, that is the third door-to-door salesman I've had today. It's ridiculous. Right, as I was trying to say, so with the hands, they just pop off and pop on, nice and tight. Okay, let's do articulation. So the head is on a ball. You don't really get any pivot in there, so just some rotation 360 degrees, but it does have a disc, so you can go down that far, up only to there because the hair hinders it slightly. Shoulders on borders, so basically Hyperion build, they can go around 360 degrees, nice and ratchety. They can go out that far. You have a bicep rotation 360 degrees. Now this is the two different figures and it fits perfectly. Double bend in the elbow, and as you saw, a wrist rotation 360 degrees, and then you have a hinge, so they can go from there to there, and then the fingers can go from there, and these fingers can make a fist. Ab crunch, so you can go back that far, and you see I've sculpted in there and painted in there, and can go forward that far, so really well. Up thigh, waist rotation 360 degrees, can go around there. T-cut hips, so with this leg forward, this leg back, that's his furthest Spartan kick, and splits of that. Up thigh rotation, to work with the pouches there, worried about they're going to scrape. Double bend in the knee, work if you can get a bit more. And I showed a boot rotation there, and you can point the ankle from there to there, and there's toe articulation, and then there is a pivot in there, but it's old school pivot. Oh, sorry, and this hand can go from there. Now, unfortunately, the paint I used is cheap paint, and you can really see the scratching off, and I have run out of varnish, which I totally forgot about before I started doing this, but I just want to show you the guys what this guy looks like at present. I will be getting some more varnish when I'm ready with the X-Men, hopefully. Okay, size comparison. So as I've actually added a small bit here, he's slightly taller than Hyperion. So he stands to the top of his head 7.5 inches. Also, those boots are a bit longer. So if you see there's Hyperion next to him. The Nuke uses the same base body, just slightly different legs to be honest. In fact, the only difference is the thighs and the boots. Actually, just a fraction taller, so it works out really well. Here we have next Colossus, pretty good height. And there's my custom Ultimate Colossus in progress. As you can see, he does look pretty good as well. Here he is next to Ultimate Spider-Man. Here he is next to Brown Suit Wolverine. Yeah, I know, still got his hands, they're somewhere in a box somewhere. And my previous Ultimate Wolverine. I'm scrapping this idea. I'm going to keep the boots, probably the hands, might keep the upper biceps, I haven't decided, and the head. And we're going to basically put all that on this guy. But no, I didn't like this one because I didn't like that I cut these articulations out. So I'm going to potentially be scrapping this figure. I probably will actually just bid it. I haven't decided yet. But yeah, there you go. That's what he looks like right now. So he's got some nice height over Wolverine, which is, you know, what you want with a Sabertooth character. Okay, that is at present my whole Ultimate completed figures. Yeah, that's probably the best way to word it. So it's quite small, to be honest. I know that's technically not Ultimate, but you know, the new Man thing's just come out, and I had this one anyway, so I figured why not put it in my Ultimate collection. So from left to right, we have the 2-pack Vulture, a Toy Biz Lizard, a Ultimate Goblin Beetle. Can just poke his head through there. The Ultimate Goblin Bath, customized by me with new hips, new paint job. Venom, complete custom. Carnage, complete custom. And then you've got Peter Parker, Miles Morales, Jessica Drew. Then my custom Human Torch and my custom Hulk. Definitely need some more goodies. Good thing the X-Men are coming, huh? I do have kind of like a Captain America. I know you guys have seen Captain America previously. He's been gutted because I don't like that figure I used, and I've made a decision to reuse it to do a new figure. So I've taken parts off of him to do a new figure. Same as Thor, and I've never finished my paint job for my Iron Man. I might actually finish that like I've done Sabertooth in between recordings, just so he's done, because he is really close. Doesn't actually need any sculpt or anything, just need to finish the paint job. So we might do that. But there you go, guys. That was my review for the custom Ultimate Sabertooth. I hope you liked this video. Hope it was cool for you to go see my collection so far. It feels so insequential compared to like my actual Marvel Legends, which is just I've got last count on like 220 Legends. I think I probably have to recount that. I'm pretty sure that number might be incorrect now. But yeah, there's a lot here. But they do look really, really cool. I am also going to work on a custom Miles Morales because, well, you know what? We'll see. I might see if I can get around to showing that one to you. Anyway, guys, hope you did like this video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. And stay tuned for the Watch Me Build 'Em. I really do appreciate all the feedback I've had from that so far. See ya.